This is the Reid Tract 4. I'm going to be showing you a few things that I really like and a few things I'm not a big fan of. This frame comes in purple, and that is the only color it comes in. It is a really nice looking purple. However, that's your only option. If you want to go with a different color, you have to go with a different model, whether it's the Tract 1, 2, or 3, which only have one color themselves. Now, this bike is under $1,000. It's a great price point. I think it's one of the best bikes for under $1,000 because it's not that they cut corners, but they don't spend extra money on the things that you don't want upgraded, and they put that money into something else like the drivetrain. So, the cockpit will start off not necessarily where they're cutting corners, but they're using all their house brand items. So the stem, the handlebars, the seat posts, the pedals are all Reid brand parts. It's the same company that makes the frame. It is an Australian based company, but since they use their house brand parts, they can save costs on it rather than spending that money on another company's parts. Now, they do also use some, I like to say, off-brand. It's not Shimano specific like the rest of the drivetrain. They are called C-Star brakes. So they're still nice brakes. They work great. They are hydraulic. They're very similar to Hayes. You actually use the Hayes bleeding kit to bleed these. Now, where they do spend some of the money that makes it worthwhile is on the drivetrain. You get Shimano Dior 12-speed on the shifter, Shimano Dior derailleur, cassette, and chain, where a lot of companies will like to do off-brand cassettes or chains as well to save costs. They run it the whole system, make it run very smooth. It shifts very nicely. Now, they do kind of cut a corner on this crankset. It's still a very nice crankset, still light. It's a threaded bottom bracket as well, so it's not a square taper, and it's not a press fit bottom bracket, so it's going to be a lot stiffer, a lot more valuable to you than to your pocketbook. Now, they do use some Compass tires. They are tan wall, obviously. They look great with the bike, and they seem to function very well as well. I think most days people upgrade their tires to their specific tire that they want. I mean, I run a lot of Maxxis on mine, so I don't really care what the bike comes with. I'm gonna upgrade to Maxxis anyway. But if this were my bike, I would still at least give them a chance and run the tires down until I decide to replace. Or if I really don't like them, I'll replace them. But I always like to try and give those a chance. Now with the fork, this fork is really nice. It's a Suntour XCM34. It is spring instead of air, but I will say that this spring seems to run a lot better than my RockShox Gold that I have on my Specialized chisel. It also does have a lockout as well. Now, one of the weirdest things that I'm not a big fan of on this bike is that not necessarily that it comes with a through axle up front. That is awesome. The weird part is that it doesn't come with the through axle on the rear. It comes with the quick release. So the biggest disadvantage to that is, although it is nice and sturdy up front, you're gonna have to eventually, I guess you don't have to, but if you ever wanna upgrade the wheel set, that's gonna be hard to do. It's gonna be very impossible to find a wheel set that has a front through axle and a rear quick release, or vice versa. I mean, most companies are making through axle front and rear, or quick release front and rear. So you either have to upgrade them at separate times, or you're just gonna have to upgrade, them both, but different hub builds, or get a custom wheel built, which is gonna be very difficult. Now, they are not tubeless either, which is why I'm kind of pointing that out, is most people's initial thought when they get into mountain biking, their first upgrade is, well, I want to run tubeless, which they absolutely should. And that's going to be very difficult on non-tubeless wheels. So again, you're going to have to upgrade, which is going to be difficult to do so. But other than that, this bike is awesome. I think if you're looking for a bike under $1,000, this is probably your best budget bike that you can find. But I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you liked it, please like it below. Please hit that subscribe button. And once I do a full ride on this bike, I'm gonna do a post-ride and review. And I hope you guys stick around to see it.